Spencer Lazar with Yves Edwards. Going to get some training in here. Tell me a little bit about your preparation for the upcoming fight against Cody McKenzie.
Oh man, just really excited about it. I've been training hard. Came out here to LA to get some work in, and I don't know. I'm just looking forward to a good fight. You know, good young up and coming guy, and I'm ready to stop this undefeated streak.
Does his guillotine choke trouble you at all? Obviously, that seems to be his go-to move.
I mean, I guess it's only going to trouble me if I get caught in it, you know, but I don't see that happening. I'm not the kind of guy that likes to be under a guy's armpit, so, you know, that's not going to happen.
Yeah, you're not exactly the offensive wrestler type. You're usually trying to stop the takedowns, keep it standing, so obviously you're not going to be throwing your neck in there.
Yeah, I mean, I got tons of fights, and I really only remember being in a guillotine position once, you know. So it's not a position that's common for me, and so it's gonna fit into my game to work away from that kind of thing, you know. So I'm not gonna worry about it too much. I'm just gonna let the fight happen as it does, but with me dictating, you know. And with me dictating, I shouldn't go to that position at all.
So he's a pretty tall guy, lanky. Obviously, he doesn't have the technique, I would say, standing that you have. So you're trying to try to get inside a little bit and work around that reach?
I'm going to punch him in the face, you know. I'm punch him in the face, punch him in the body, kick him in the legs, you know, kick him in the head, all that good stuff. As far as inside or outside, it doesn't really matter, you know. I think he's going to improve. He's going to get better. His stand-up's probably not going to look like what it looked like on the show. But at the same time, I think the gap is a big gap, you know. Then again, it only takes one punch, so I got to be focused while I'm out there, you know. So while I'm out there, I'm just going to dictate the pace, put the fight where I need it to be. I'm going to hit him on the inside when I need to be inside, get on the outside when I need to be there, and just try to show the experience difference in the striking game.
His game plan against Nam in his loss on Ultimate Fighter was to press him against the cage, you know, and keep him from being able to use the stand-up. You think that's what he'll do against you?
You know, I mean, from what I've seen from his fights, you know, that's a good idea. That's one of the things I guess you go into the fight looking for. You know, I shouldn't be surprised if he does that. Basically, what I'm saying. You know, if he comes out with that game plan, I wouldn't be surprised at all. But I'm sure he's looking at tapes and trying to find openings and weaknesses that he may think he can capitalize on and try to come in with that game plan also. So I don't want to go in there thinking, okay, he's going to try to bum rush me up against the fence and try to finish. You know, I'm gonna look for that, but at the same time, you know, I'm gonna try to create my openings so where those things don't happen for him.
You're a seasoned vet, obviously back in the UFC after being champion years ago. How cool is that to be back in the UFC? Fighting in your second fight here, getting back, you know, winning streak, and talk a little bit about how your experience might help you in this fight.
I think the experience is going to be huge. You know, I mean, the guy has 12 fights. He's undefeated for a reason, though. You know, so but the experience factor is going to come in handy, I think. As far as coming back to the UFC, you know. Yeah, at the time when I left, you know, at some point I was considered the champ, but I didn't officially have that belt. So that's the goal right now, to get back in, get back to the top, work my way back up, and get a shot at one of the best guys in the world, you know, whoever it may be, whether it be Gray, Frankie, Pettis, whoever at the time holds that belt, that's the guy I want to go after. But right now I'm just working my way back up. I'm excited to be back. The sport's completely different, man, you know. Everybody's awesome now, you know. At the time it was like 5 or 6 really good guys at 55 in the UFC. Now it's like 30 plus, you know, everybody's legit. So I'm definitely excited about that. You know, every time out is going to be a challenge. Every time out is going to be competition, and I'm just looking forward to climbing back to the top of that ladder, having all those 155-pound bodies just laying down underneath me, and me standing there with the gold around my waist.
What was a little bit of the change for you, morphing as a fighter, evolving as a fighter? Obviously, your takedown defense seems like maybe was an area that you were able to put it together and stop the takedowns in your last fight and get the win.
Well, I mean, you know, it's MMA now, you know, with all these good wrestlers coming out, you have to learn everything, you know. My takedown defense and my wrestling is still not very good, you know. I was able to control the pace of that fight with distance and with boxing, you know. You know, I'm still working on everything else, you know. I work with a lot of good guys, you know, Antonio McKee, guys in the American Top Team. So, you know those guys like Jay-Z and T-Bow, you know, guys with good, strong wrestling. So I've been trying to work with guys like that, trying to get better and better at the things that I'm doing. As far as putting it together, I think it's going to come together. It's going to come together with time, you know, constantly working with the best guys in MMA. You know, it's definitely going to help, you know, so I'll get better at it.
And any predictions when you talk about Antonio's fight this weekend for that and the rest of the card?
Oh man, I'm really excited about this fight. These fights this weekend. I'm gonna get up there tomorrow and try to make the weigh-ins. Enjoy it with my family, with my wife and whatnot. But for the fights, man, I got three buddies fighting. I got Dustin Prio. I can never say Dustin's last name. Dustin, he's fighting Josh Crispy. It's going to be a tough fight, but I think Dustin can pull it off. Of course, Mike Brown and Diego Nunez. That's going to be a really exciting fight, but I think Mike takes that one also. And then Antonio McKee and Jacob Volkman, really good friend of mine and a guy that helps train me. So I'm really rooting for Antonio on that one. I think Volkman, he's a stud wrestler, but I don't think he understands it. I mean, I hear a lot of good things about Volkman. I don't think he understands the power Antonio possesses. That guy is a beast. He's strong as hell. So I'm really, really excited about that fight. And it'll be great for Antonio to get, to get the first W in the UFC and let people see who he really is.
And what about for the main event?
The main event, that's a great fight. I honestly don't know who's gonna win that fight. If you put a gun to my head and make me pick, I don't know. I don't know. One day I feel like Frankie's gonna win it. The next day I feel like Gray's gonna win it. I'm gonna tweet it on Friday night, on Saturday night when I'm there, what I'm feeling as the fight's about to happen. That's what I'm gonna go with finally. But for right now, I'm just bouncing back and forth. Those guys, if it's short, I can see Gray winning because of the power and the strength. And I can see Frankie being able to close it out really, really strong. So it's just one of those fights. And either one of those guys has a whole lot of stoppages. Frankie has more. But it's one of those fights. So I'm really excited about that one. I really, really am.
Okay. Well, we'll see what happens, and we look forward to see Yves fight for the troops against Cody McKenzie.